Right, we're on now.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Just
it's what is it? The 28th, 28th.
it's the 28th today.
Did you have a nice few days?
Did have a nice few days. It was we so I'm in Connecticut, but we're from New Jersey originally. You know about where those are? You know about where those are,
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
to the
yeah. It's
East
like
Coast.
top right, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Top right.
hold on.
And yep.
Sorry, I've got stuff going on here. Shut up.
There we
Right, there we go. Yeah, go, keep going. Yeah, so top right,
go.
yeah?
Okay.
Above
So
New York,
top right.
right? Is that right?
Top right
Above
in
New
the
York?
US. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. New Jersey's like a little, yeah, it gets a little messy, but yeah, Connecticut and New Jersey are both right next to it, basically, New York. And
Okay.
so we're from New Jersey originally, so had a lot of family down there still. And
Okay.
so we spent a little bit of my wife's family came up on Christmas Eve, and we spent Christmas Eve. They spent the night, and then on Christmas Day we went down to see a bunch of my family in New Jersey. So yeah, it was a good couple of days. How about you?
Yeah, Christmas Day was a little bit different because we didn't have our son with us, and we had to get him later in the day. So we actually drove like a
Okay.
3-hour round trip on Christmas Day, which is not ideal, but that was
How
to
many
get him.
hours?
So 3 hours, so hour and a half there, hour
Oh,
and a half back to get him from Brighton.
okay.
So he was working until about 7 in the evening. So we went and got him. So we did have a gathering before that. So we went to my mother-in-law's house, and there was
Okay.
about 7 of us. And then Boxing Day, we went to Bedfordshire or Northamptonshire, where my wife originally comes from. There was a big family gathering with her brother's house. So my brother-in-law,
Okay.
and there was about 14 or 15 adults and about 5 kids and 7 dogs, and it was crazy, very busy. So that was Boxing Day. But Boxing Day morning was like our Christmas morning because Louis was down and my daughter came round, so we all opened our presents on Boxing Day rather than Christmas Day.
Okay, so
So
let me ask you about that actually, if I can. So when I was, I was like, I got really into Dickens this December, and I read like that. I
yeah,
read a fictional novel, and I did some fireside readings and stuff. And in the process of doing that, I learned a little history, and I had learned that, I didn't know that, we're so used to like what we know in current times, but like the Christmas holiday that we all consider like such a big holiday these days is relatively recent as a big holiday, right? And
yeah,
so I learned that, when Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol back in 1843, that, that was one of the things that have a very big impact on elevating Christmas to a major holiday in the UK at that time. And
yeah.
supposedly, based on what I read, Boxing Day was a bigger holiday than Christmas in the UK before that time. Is
Well,
that true?
um, well, from what I understand it, Boxing Day, the word Boxing Day comes from the boxes, and that was what all the gifts were in. So
Okay.
it goes back sort of, pre-Christian times, before
Okay.
Christianity took hold of it. It was a pagan thing when it like celebrating the end of the year,
Okay.
and people exchange gifts, and I'm pretty sure that's where the term Boxing Day comes from. And if not, there might be a later version of that definition of Boxing Day. But yeah, Boxing Day was when people handed gifts around. Obviously, we do it Christmas Day now, but yeah, we went traditional and went Boxing Day by accident.
Yeah. Okay, because that was going to be my next question because I didn't know anything about the origins of Boxing Day. I didn't know what that was all
Yeah,
about. But
you not call
so
it
pretty
Boxing
much,
Day over there? Do you call it
no, we
Boxing
don't
Day?
have any. We don't have a Boxing Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I just assumed that when you sort of started up over there, you took some of our traditions, and that was one of the things you took over there. But I don't know.
I mean, maybe at one point we did. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows they can chime in. But
yeah, you'll get something going. Well, actually, blah, 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 blah. Which would be good. It'd be good to educate us. That'd be awesome. We used to have a thing. Go on.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say we used to have a thing that Christmas Eve, we'd all open one present between the four of us. But that was because we were all here. Now that both the kids have moved away. Christmas Eve isn't a thing. We used to always watch Nightmare Before Christmas as well on Christmas Eve. So that was a tradition that lasted a while. But I get random messages from one of them saying, I've watched it. I've managed to watch it this Christmas, because we try and watch it this Christmas, each Christmas. But yeah, it was weird not having them.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that we still have a full house. My two older daughters, they're twins. They just graduated college last year, so they are back home. They're both going to be living home they can't afford to live on their own yet, so they're both working and living at home right now. And my younger daughter doesn't go to college until next year, so she's still here. So we still have a full house. So it's nice. We've traditionally done, I don't know why we do this. I guess because like the grandparents, but traditionally the kids give out their gifts on Christmas Eve to like us and to grandparents. And then they open all their gifts on Christmas Day. I guess because of Santa Claus, right? I guess that's why it started that way, and we've always just kept it that way.
yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, Christmas morning is supposed to be when they get visited, and obviously you've been in there. You've been in their room at night, and tried not to disturb them so they can wake up and go, "Oh, Santa Claus has been." But I don't think when my daughter's 28, I'm not sure if that's really something I need to worry about. But yeah, I was going to say, it's just like it seems to be that it's a lot more powerful as a thing when you've got kids around you as well. I think or even if they're not kids, but your kids, even if they're not kids, but the ones that do you still spoil them? Do you still spend crazy amount of money on them, or do you think you're old enough now, we're not going to do that?
No, we do, and they're really good. They tell us, they're like, "Look, we're not kids anymore. You don't have to. You don't have to do that." But we do still buy too much. We just can't help it. You know what I mean? But it's definitely less than it used to be. But yeah, it kind of stinks because I have 3 girls, and so at this age, all they want is clothes, and it's so boring for me.
Yeah. That must be. I mean, I think there's something because we do buy for the kids independently as well. So my wife will find stuff, and then I'll find stuff, and sometimes they know, oh, that's from Dad or that's from Mum. You can tell, and sometimes they don't know. It's just something that they've asked for that we've got them collectively.
Right.
But yeah, if I just had 3 girls and I didn't have anything in common with them, it would be quite hard. I mean, I get Jess books, which is good. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, my son's got into CDs again, which is really good. So he asked for a bunch of specific CDs, but then it was so much fun to go into a shop and just find some CDs for him. That was really good. So I was just thinking, what do I want him to have? What's the classics he should have? So that was really cool.
That's the fun stuff. Like that's like I not even involved in the shopping, right? I mean, if it's clothes, my wife's buying the clothes, so I don't get to do any of it anymore. It's really really kind of stinks.
You should put your foot down and say, look, I want to get them at least a couple of things that are from me.
I actually did buy a couple of them wanted some books, so I actually did buy those.
That's cool. Well, like Jess really loves Frankenstein, and I saw someone recently review the book about Mary Shelley. It's just called Mary, I think. It's called Mary, and then there's a subtitle, Creative of Frankenstein or something. And that's supposed to be really good. So that was really good. She'd never heard of that. So it was nice to get her stuff she'd asked for, but then get her that as well that she didn't know about. That was really cool. Right, should we look at some comments?
See who's here, right?
Yeah. Okay, so MJ said she loved it, and that was before we started. So hopefully you haven't spoiled it by actually starting the stream. Hi Zap. Zap's always first.
Hey, Zap, we aim to please.
Scott and Becky, hello.
Hey, guys.
That was me saying I'm sorry I'm late. So that's, you can tell those are before we started.
Yeah.
There we go. So New Jersey, which exit?
So which exit on the Garden State Parkway, I would imagine. Well, it depends. Like, you could be talking about the Turnpike or the Parkway. But so we're from Northern Jersey. We're from mostly Bergen County, if you know where that is. So it's Bergen, Sussex County really is where we're from. So in the northern part of New Jersey. I'm guessing Zap is from New Jersey. Where would that be?
Yeah, maybe. Always cracks me up that you got New Sussex? You said? Oh, Sussex County, you said. And obviously
Sussex
the county
County.
of Sussex is down the road from me. So,
Yeah.
It just amuses me. There's a New Hampshire, and I live in Hampshire. I live in Portsmouth, and your Portsmouth is in New Hampshire as well. I'm expecting there to be an American version of Gareth there somewhere as well.
Yeah. Right. Well, you copy everything from you guys, right?
Hopefully that answers his question. Leslie says hello. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
So maybe say Canada's got a Boxing Day, but I don't think we've ever had one in this country. Canada has one. That's really funny. I thought it was just a standard thing. It's just, you don't realize, do you? Until someone says, "What do you want about? What's this boxing thing? Do you go around hitting each other?" No, we don't go around hitting each other. Or I suppose it might do when they get pissed in a pub. Spock and Becky. Spock says, "I'm 48 and Becky's in her early 40s, and the in-laws spoil us there." Brilliant. That's it. That's what you want. You want to be spoiled there. That is awesome. Brian wants bonfire night. Yeah, that's a weird one. When we celebrate the death of Guy Fawkes, who had some sort of religious grievance against the king because he wanted it to be Catholic again, and it was a Protestant country by then. So he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. He failed. And then we go on about it every year like it's the most important thing that's ever happened. It's so weird.
When is that? Is that in December?
That's in November. That's November the 5th. The rhyme that we always got told when we were kids was remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Huh.
But I think... Go on.
Do you celebrate it like...
Well, yeah, we do. Well, we celebrate it in the sense that pretty much every town and city will have a fireworks celebration, like a fireworks night, a fireworks display, and there's fireworks going off everywhere all the time. So the dogs don't like it, but you have that, and that's to do with bonfire night. And what used to happen don't happen as often anymore. What used to happen was the penny for the guy. So you get these kids make up this kind of person made up of like papier mâché and clothes and some sort of mask on his face, some sort of really dodgy representation of a man, and then they'd stand next to him in the street by the shops and go penny for the guy, and then you'd give them pennies for this terrible model of a person they'd made. And then it was just some sort of weird tradition.
That sounds wonderfully creepy.
You don't see that as much anymore. But penny for the guy, yeah, it's a weird one. And Guy Fawkes is nowhere near as important as he's become. But there we are. That's just our weird relationship with history, isn't it? We get all excited about certain things. So MJ's now arrived. Yay!
Hey,
got in from being out. That's the best way to get in, isn't it? To get in from being out. It's the easiest way to get in. We're all in our 50s. And so they should spoil it. That's good. That's brilliant.
Awesome.
We're both in our 50s, aren't we? Are you in your 50s, Dave?
Yeah, I just turned 50 this past summer.
Oh, you just turned 50 this year? Wow, okay. So luckily, if you'd have said, no, I'm 49, and then you're offended.
Yeah, what are you, 52, right? Is that what you are?
I'm 52, yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like I look a lot older in the last 2 weeks. Well, in the last week because I've had another tooth out. So I said on one of my stupid intros that I had toothache, and I did. I had really bad toothache about 2 weeks, and I had to go to the dentist, and he said I've got to take it out, and I was like,
Oh.
and now I just feel so embarrassed by it. And you watch whenever I do a gig, there'll be some terrible photos of me like going with my terrible teeth.
Huh.
But what can you do? If you're
You can't
getting
even
old and
see it.
decrepit, then you can't see it. Oh,
No.
I'll talk like that, and then you won't be able to see it. Become a ventriloquist. Okay, they're saying hi to MJ. MJ says, "Hey all, please hit the like button." Yes, please hit the like button. Any like button you can find. Okay, Crystal says, "What are you up to?"
Hey,
So what? Hi, Crystal. Crystal, you have to answer as well. Presumably, there's going to be some answers to that. But what are you up to, Dave? What's your day been like today?
Me?
Yeah, we need to answer for Crystal's question, our boys.
Today was relaxation day because my wife, I was telling you, my wife's an elementary school teacher, and so most of the time, like during the school year, I don't get to see her that much. She's like crazy busy. So this week is great, right? Because she has the whole week off. So we go on like a couple of date nights. We do a Christmas date and then a couple supplemental ones. So last night we did another one of our date nights out. We went to the bar, and our style is we sit at the bar and just have drinks. And as we get hungry, we'll order like some little plates or something like that. So we were at the bar, had way too many drinks. So part of my day was sleeping today. I slept in a bit from last night.
Awesome.
And that's it. I ran my daughter around a little bit. So it's just today was kind of a relaxation day, recovery day. So what about you? So you're off this whole week, right?
Yeah, I'm off for the rest of the week. I'm back to work next week. But yeah, I had a similar lie-in because of a late night last night. But that was because Louis was down. So he was down for Christmas, but he went back today. So we drove him back to Brighton today. But because he was down, he wanted to catch up on Doctor Who. So we watched tons of Doctor Who over the last couple of days. He watched the 3 specials, and then we watched the Christmas Day one. And he wanted me to watch the new Spider-Verse film, the animated Spider-Verse movies.
Okay.
I hadn't watched that, so we watched that, and then we've got this big gig on New Year's Eve, and I said, "Do you want to look at the set list?" And he looked at the set list, and then we were playing through the songs. So that took us ages, and then so it was quite a late night. And then I had a lie-in this morning, and he was watching. Him and his mum like watching cop programs together, so they were doing that while I was in bed.
This was the gig that you were saying you had to like shorten, right? Because it's like so long. The New Year's Eve gig.
Well, I thought I was going to shorten it, and then the landlord sent me a message this morning going, "Yeah, don't worry about our end. It'll be great for you to finish at 1 o'clock in the morning." And I thought, no, I wasn't really worried about it from your end. I just didn't want to finish at 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so we're gonna see what we can do. We'll try and. He said that we can have breaks and stuff. I mean, we're starting at 8:30, so it's a long night. But and I said to Louis, "You got to play loads of solos," and he said, "Yeah, but we've got to make sure it's not boring." It's true. You can't just play a 10-minute solo. That'd be like Neil Young. He does that.
That's a long show.
Here's a long show. We get a lot of money for it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, even if it was, I'd say, if we started at say 9 on the dot and finished just after midnight, so we sing Auld Lang Syne and stuff, that's still a normal gig for New Year's Eve. So I think they're asking for a bit more, but that's fine. I mean, it's a venue that we are looking forward to playing. So I've done lots of different kinds of New Year's Eve gigs, and this place is the first time we've played a place that the second time we've played a venue that know us loads that we've played through the year, and we can literally play our own songs in the New Year's Eve gigs. That's really good. So we'll play lots of famous covers and that, but we will also play our own stuff. So that'd be really nice.
So what kind of venue is it?
So it's a pub, but it's a pub that's known for music. So like 2 nights a week, and so Fridays nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday afternoons, they've had music there every week for years and years and years and years. And when a new landlord picks it up, they always know it's a music pub, so they have to have music on. So, pubs like that are great to play because, they are interested in original songs as well, those kind of pubs.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
So yeah, that's good. So it will be good. It's just going to be hard work.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to knock yourself out. So like 11:30, your throat's going and all that. But we'll see. It's got to take it easy, I think. Do gentler songs, not do too much sort of, crazy shouting and stuff. But we'll see.
All right.
So let's hope they've all answered Crystal's question as well. Stoney Reeves, hiya.
Hi, Summer.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, that's cool. William's here. Hi, William.
Hey,
William's always at live streams, isn't he? He's a big supporter of live streams.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It's great.
And then, Jenny's here.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Dave, don't tell people where you live. They'll come for Olive. You make a good point, Summer. You make a good point. What do you think? Huh? Anybody going to come and steal you?
Do you ever have a worry about that kind of thing?
No, I don't.
No, I know it sounds a bit silly, but like Jess has got a French bulldog, and they literally get stolen from when you take them out for a walk. Sometimes it's like a real problem. It seems to be French bulldogs in particular, but yeah, they there's a good nick from under your feet, so she does worry a bit. They only ever take their dog out together, the two of them, like her and her husband.
Although I have to say, I have a friend that a good buddy that lives nearby, but he lives in a rougher. It's a city nearby that's quite a bit rougher, and his dogs got stolen once. They got them back, but it was like it was a day and a half, 2 days later before they got them back. So we were about to launch some major search parties because it was pretty scary,
Yeah. We've got new tags on our dogs. Our new little I don't know if tag's the right word for it.
GPS.
Yeah, kind of things. So I'll see if Ralph's asleep. You might not like me doing this. Ralph, are you awake? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can I just read your thing? So this is Ralph. I need to read it. Is that right? Can I read it though? Because right, hold on. It says this is what his little tag says. It's in the shape of a bone, and it says, "Oh shit, I'm lost. Please call my mum. She's ugly crying, like really ugly crying." And then it's got a number on it.
Oh, that's great.
I love that.
My God. Olive is actually she's actually microchipped.
Oh yeah. So is ours. Yeah.
So that they can scan her if they find her. I mean, she never leaves my side anyway. But if for somehow she got away, they could scan her and identify her.
Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. Right. Okay. So that's a long response to Summer's statement about being careful about that. Zap says not from Jersey, from New York City, Brooklyn specifically, but spent a lot of time in Jersey.
Okay.
There's a place in England called Jersey.
Is there really?
Yeah, one of the Channel
Islands. Of course, there must be.
Which is why you named yours New Jersey. That's our parents. Yeah, your parents. No, I get it. Absolutely get it. Jay says hi. MJ says, remember 5th December. Now stage you read your own challenge. Gunpowder, treason, and read what your own challenge. Alan Moore's Voice of the Fire plays with Bonfire Night in an interesting way, but I've read that the history is pretty sketchy. Oh, okay. Well, obviously, Alan Moore. Did you know V for Vendetta, Dave?
I do. I have it. I have not yet read it. I gotta write this down.
It's my favorite thing that Alan Moore has ever written. I love it so much, and I was really shocked that the film was quite an anarchist film, really, considering it was a mainstream film. They let it have this quite revolutionary kind of point to it and kind of ending. And I was well impressed with that, because the original V for Vendetta was like a statement against Thatcherism about Margaret Thatcher and that. He wrote it in the 80s, and yeah, it's amazing, and it's all based around the V's mask is a Guy Fawkes mask, which is now just synonymous with rebellion anyway, in it, because you've got the anonymous people as well, haven't you, that wear the same mask and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting that there's been these different ways that mask has been used, isn't it?
Yeah.
William's 39. He's a young'un.
Spring chicken, William. Spring chicken.
Yeah. Honey and lemon tea. Yeah, I need to have lots of sleep, which I don't normally have a lot of. I need to have more sleep than normal, I think. And still having loads of cold and flu pills, all that business. Yeah, I'm getting better. I reckon I could sing a whole song today, which I couldn't yesterday. Or whether I could sing 45 songs, I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking way better. I was worried about you a couple days ago.
Well, the video I put, I didn't realize. I thought I'd edited all the coughing out, but there was one big cough in the middle, wasn't it? And I thought, I didn't spot that one when I edited it, and I was like, it looks terrible. But there we are. What can you do? Jess says hi. Hello.
Hey, Jess.
Bemis, yeah, BEMIS. If you want to play it on whatever name is, Alexa, whatever your version is. You have to spell it out, otherwise it gets confused and plays something random. But
Hi, David.
Hi,
say hi.
Carol.
Say hi.
Kevin says hi.
She's got her post dinner crash here. It's like a post dinner nap. She just ate right before we came on.
She's just chilling out, letting it all get digested. I love it. Yeah, just says looks so adorable.
It's adorable over there sitting.
18 people, yeah.
Chatting for likes. We can do better.
We can do better. Well, we can just do what we can. Yeah, Ralph is still here, but I've got him. Yeah, you're still here, aren't you, mate? You'll say hello. You say hello.
He looks tired.
The reason why he's in the videos more than Chico is Chico loves his bed, so he's often just in his bed, whereas Ralph likes the settee, so he's often on the settee, and quite often where I want to sit. So I either just share that place or I sort of try and move him a bit or whatever. Now,
have you tried to put Chico in a video? Good about it, or
I picked him up and stuck him in front of the camera at one point, but he very quickly went back into his bed. So yeah. Although
that's the way Riley is. Like, she has no Olive's sister. She has no patience for us. Like the one time I had to keep her in the video because it was like the dog tag or something.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
She stayed for I got her to stay for half the video, and then she was gone. So she got no patience for our nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, both of them just want to lie about. I mean, they're not particularly active dogs, to be fair. Isn't it? Sometimes I can get Chico excited a bit by running back and forth the room and stuff, but then I can't get him excited with toys. Both of them don't react to toys. It's very strange. But there we are. Yeah.
Live today.
Like the video. Stolen dogs. We have horror stories. Oh no. So William's had some stolen dogs. That must be so horrible.
Yeah. It's God.
I had quite an early experience when I was a kid with I had this dog that I absolutely loved to death. I was absolutely so in love with her. She was a cross between a Labrador and a Whippet. And she was called Shandy. So she was like my first dog. Okay. And I'll never forget going over to the park with her when I was probably 8 or 9 years old or something. And then she was attacked by another dog. And it was just horrible as a kid. I didn't know what to do. Couldn't, you try and get in the way or whatever, but you're so frightened and it's so upsetting. And actually Jess had a similar. My daughter Jess had a similar experience with their mum as well, because we had their mum Jodie, and she took her out and then was attacked by another dog, and she was quite young when that happened. And it's just, you just never forget it. So,
oh, jeez.
Yeah. Have you ever had an experience like that, or have you been quite lucky from that point of view?
A little bit. Hi, Kevin. I miss Kevin there. Yeah, Riley one time got attacked. I think she was a little too close to one of the neighbors' lawns, and the dog, their dog is always out there, and pretty good about staying in their yard. But Riley must have got like too close to the grass or put a paw in the grass or something. So
Right.
came and took and bit her, and she was all right. But you know, it was once my wife had her, and once she moved away with Riley, the dog didn't chase them or anything. But it was still traumatic for my wife when it happened. Probably much more traumatic for my wife than it was for Riley. You know.
Yeah, they do get over stuff quickly, don't they? Yeah, you're right. It's doesn't linger in the same way. So Kelly. Hi, Kelly. I want to know if the crowds singing or belting it out together in the pub happens as much when the bands are live, or is that more of a drunken after a football match afternoon thing? Yeah, well, that's one of the sort of the adventurous elements of playing live. It's the crowd, and if it's a ticket gig and the crowd is your crowd, then you can get them doing whatever you want them to do, and it kind of whatever fits the songs, and you're probably doing your songs as well if it's a ticket gig and that kind of thing. But if it's a wedding gig or a function gig or a New Year's Eve gig, they're slightly more heightened than a normal pub gig. Because pub gigs, if you're in a lively pub, then that can be a bit crazy anyway. There's one pub in Petersfield that if you do a Saturday night in this particular pub in Petersfield, it's like mental. They go crazy there, and they get really, really like crazy busy, and you can't move in there. And they're all shouting their head off, and they're trying to grab the mic and all sorts of things like that. And that can be really hectic. And that's just a normal Saturday night in that pub. And you can get that, and you can get some other ones. We're all just sitting down and just like hardly moving. So it depends on the pub. But New Year's Eve is definitely a night where you're likely to get proper drunk madness, you know. And the one we did last year was crazy. It was much more unpredictable and unhinged as any other New Year's Eve we've ever done. It was in a place we hadn't played before, and it wasn't a massive pub either, but it was so well, it was just really full on, and they were asking if they could sing on the mic. We'd finished and they go, can I do a song, and all that sort of stuff. And it was just it was, in some ways, places like that, you don't want to go down well because they react so such a mad way. You think, if this bigger tank, it might have been easier. But yeah, so it depends on where it is. But definitely, if it's a lively pub and you're doing well, then yeah, it will be quite a lively audience. So yeah. Kelly times 3. Kelly. Here we go. Jenny said, I remember when someone tried to steal the most recognizable dog in our area and seemed surprised when everyone called bullshit when he said that she was his.
Huh.
I
guess you can't steal, if you're going to steal a dog, you can't steal a well-known one.
Yeah, not if the dog's famous. What an idiot. Kelly. An English pub afternoon. Yeah, you got to go to an English pub. Anytime on a Friday, Saturday night as well. It gets lively. We've got because it's a city. We've got a pub every other street corner, pretty much. There's so many pubs in Portsmouth, and a lot of them do live music. So there's usually, if you're here for a few days, you'll be able to see some live music. And if you're here over a weekend, you definitely can. You have a choice. Cornwall's a lovely place. So yeah, we've been to Cornwall twice, and the first time we went because we hadn't been for a long time. No, we've never been. Sorry, we heard all about it for a long time. We're like, we should go to Cornwall, and that was the first holiday we had with the 4, like me and my wife and the 2 kids together, and we loved it. Cornwall's really nice, so I'll definitely recommend it. It's really nice. You could put an apple.
Is that pretty far north, or?
Well, Cornwall. Cornwall's right at the bottom. So we're at the bottom, But if you imagine the map of Great Britain, you've got like it's almost like a cone shaped, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're kind of a little bit to the east, I guess, but right at the bottom, in like facing France. But then, so that's Portsmouth. But then, if you go right along to the end, to the left side, there's like the little foot kind of thing, and that's Cornwall. And there's some really beautiful areas in Cornwall. And Cornwall's like historically, it's kind of interesting because it's the other Celtic bit. So the Celtic parts of the UK are Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Cornwall. You know, Cornwall had its own language hundreds of years ago. You know, there isn't one anymore, but it used to be Cornish used to be a thing. And obviously, it's the home of the Cornish pasty. You guys have Cornish pasties, don't you? I think, didn't you, down there? Do you have Cornish pasties?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I have to. I think I had a conversation with MJ about this, about whether there was Cornish pasties over there. They're obviously quite famous over here, and you can get, even though they're from Cornwall, you can get Cornish pasties anywhere because we all eat them. We, you know, like it's like a staple part of our diet, really, a Cornish pasty. And this goes back to the 1600s. The idea was that the wife or mother or whatever would make a pasty, which was like in the earliest form of the pasty, it was pastry that was surrounding like a two-part meal. So the one half of it was savoury. So it was like like potatoes and veg and mince meat and stuff. And then the other half was like the afters. So it was like a sweet kind of like apple-based thing or something, or some fruit-based thing. So that was the original pasty. Nowadays, usually pasties, the traditional pasties, are just the whole thing's a savoury thing usually. But yeah, it's an old thing. They're pretty cool. MJ get through the flu. That's good. All right, Watson's got all sorts going on. Yeah, that's good. You don't want anything he's got a whole security force. He's got like 5 guards that watch him. Talk to the other pals. Watch Watson. And Watson's on the move.
Watson. You know this, Gareth. Watson's not actually his real name.
Watson's not his real name.
Watson's not his real name. That's just code name that the agents use when
Watson's cut his real name. Watson. No one will want to steal my Chihuahua. They are crazy. Chihuahuas are crazy. I had a Chihuahua for a while. We were in my brother-in-law's house, my wife's youngest brother, and there was like a family do happening, and he just came up to me. I was sitting in the garden, and he just came up to me and dumped a Chihuahua on my lap and said, "Here, Gareth, this dog hasn't got a home." And we're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, this hasn't got a home. You can have him, right?" And we went, "Okay." If he's not got a home, we'll take him away if you want. We already had a dog and a cat at that point. We had a Pekingese and a cat called Banjo. It was like the best cat ever. I still miss Banjo a lot. But we had this dog, this Chihuahua called Charlie. And oh my God, Charlie was really mistreated, to be fair. In his first 18 months, he was just like left in a shed and like just ignored. So it was quite difficult to train. He was really like badly treated. But we took him out for 4 hours, right? We walked him for 4 hours thinking this will knacker him out.
Right.
Nope. We got home and we were like, "Oh, I can't walk anymore." And like Charlie's jumping up and down, going, "Where are we going now? Where are we going now?"
Right. And you think with those little legs, like that's a lot, right? I mean, that's like there was a lot more exercise than you got that day. And
well, clearly he could have gone for hours.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas, Chihuahuas go on for hours. They're like Sting. He can go on for hours, can't he? Yeah, feel better, Kelly. Okay, so Jess doing well on the read what you own, but just read to make a wrap-up video. Just need to read. Oh, okay, cool. My We'll ask each other in a minute about the reading things, but I'm still sticking to the read what you own, but I'm not doing much reading. So it's like, don't read what you own.
No.
Try
Do you
to
think
read
the
what you own,
challenge
but
is
fail
keeping you?
miserably.
Do you think
I'm
it's
still
keeping you
doing
from
it.
reading?
No, I'm still doing it, but I just, for some reason, I'm like tired all the time, or I'm really restless, and I get up and do things, and I can't settle at the minute. So my reading's gone, like the actual productivity of the reading, the amount I've read has gone down a lot. But
Yeah.
um,
Well, it's also hard right now with the holidays. You've been sick, and then there's the holidays, and it's like I was having a great first 2.5 weeks of December, and then it's been pretty slow since then. It's just too much going on, you know.
yeah, and I thought about it. I thought about trying to project what I'll finish the next couple of days and what I'll do for my December wrap up. And I thought, actually, it's not that it's this probably it'll probably end up the same number of books, but a lot of them are going to be like graphic novels and cartoonist books and stuff. So it won't. I can still talk about stuff, but it's not like reading a proper book, you know, with lots of words in it. You know,
Yeah.
there's not many words.
I bought that graphic novel you were talking about, by the way.
Or the Christmas Carol.
You made me get it. That was my Christmas present to myself. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
This is the one you have, right?
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. I didn't read it yet. Yeah.
So I think I've got a couple of others in the series. I've got I think it's the same series as the ones that did the Frankenstein one as well. Do you want to go get down? What do you want to do? Don't know. And that was good as well. I think he's all right, but he just looked like he was gonna. He looked like he wanted to go off, but I think he does. But yeah, the Frankenstein one's good as well. It's quite nice when there's a bit of a trend now, and you can get more classic novels that have been graphic novelized. It's quite nice, quite a good idea.
Yeah. I think it was not that long ago. I actually found I didn't read it yet, but I found a graphic novel version of Merchant of Venice.
Nice.
There's a lot of stuff that they're putting in graphic novel form now.
Did they use Shakespeare's actual lines in it?
I don't know. I didn't read it
yet. Yeah, that's it. He's gone. So yeah. Let's have a look. Leslie says, "No one will steal our 17-year-old Jack Russell." Oh, psycho. Jack Russells are mental. Jack Russells are. I'll tell you what. Almost every Jack Russell I've seen in Portsmouth, and we had one next door for a while. It was actually next door's one was their mum's. Hold on. Their dad. Yeah, their mum's fling. So their dad was a Jack Russell Chihuahua cross apparently, but it looked like a Jack Russell. But which is why they look so odd. Probably they've got like Westie, like a West Highland Terrier, and what else? A Shih Tzu, and then the dad stuff as well. Jack Russell and Chihuahua. But anyway, almost every Jack Russell I've seen in Portsmouth wanders around without a lead, and they're like utterly like walking next to their owner, and they're like they don't bother putting a lead on because they're like they just got this amazing bond. The Jack Russells that I've seen, you know, they kind of I don't know if they seem to be known for that. I'm not sure. Although Leslie's one is totally psycho. Leslie, is your dog really loyal, and like you just call him and it comes over? Will they be like that? Or it's no more. Kelly says it's just more reading time, really, if you have a good box of Kleenex. Yeah, that's true. If you can focus, because if you're so ill, you can't even focus. That look good. But if you are able to focus, then yeah, you can get a lot of reading done. Definitely. So Kevin says he lives in Point Pleasant Beach in New Jersey.
Oh yeah. Okay. Point Pleasant is because Jersey's on the East Coast, so it's on so Point Pleasant is one of like the popular shore towns. Okay. Awesome swell, 25
There's lots
waves.
of fishing and stuff there.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been Point Pleasant so many years.
Is that far away from you, or?
It's a ways. It's a bit. I mean, it would be a few hours for me to. I don't know exactly, but it would be a few hours for me to get there. But
Right.
Yeah, I went there a couple times when I was younger. There's certain, obviously, the whole eastern side of New Jersey is shoreline, but there are certain towns that are big, big, big quote unquote shore towns with nice boardwalks and everything, and that was one of the popular ones.
Yeah. I tell you what, because we talk about this sort of thing a lot, because we share where we're from and some of the more details about our different areas, different country, and that kind of thing, and learn a lot about each other. I have, over the last 4 or 5 months, I've taken photos of Portsmouth. I was going to at some point do a video about Portsmouth. I've just been somewhere. Oh, that'd be awesome. And I was going to do like one of those, like a video where I'm doing an overhead, kind of like just like a narration over it, and talk about different elements of Portsmouth. Because I've always lived there, it's like my city, and I thought, it might be quite interesting for people, because
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I had a friend who lives in Baltimore, and she came over and she said that she thought, because there's like a naval history with Portsmouth and apparently a naval history with Baltimore, she could see some links, some similarities. So,
okay,
yeah. She says, "Great Bob, great job, Gareth. Reading half of Mr. Mercedes. How are you liking it?" Yeah, so this is it here. So I was going to talk about reading in a minute, but yeah, I really like it. So I'm halfway through, and he's just such a good storyteller. I'm kind of, I haven't met Holly yet, so we're reading these books because Holly's in it, but she's not in it yet. So I think it's a really small part she plays in this one, and probably the role gets bigger in the other books in the trilogy. I'm not sure.
Didn't somebody say that's the first one, right, of the Holly books?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's Finders, Keepers, and End of Watch. That's a trilogy about a detective called Bill Hodges, and then she's appeared in other ones as well, which I think are more supernatural type books. I think the other ones that she's in, this is not supernatural at all. It's just a thriller. But he does that sometimes. Some people have been surprised. It's like, oh, well, it's not even a horror book, but he doesn't always do horror books, does he? So he's just sort of most known for that, isn't he? Just says, hope you feel better, Kelly. That's Heather. Awesome.
I hear about the new show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's all very, very exciting. It's something that I just thought. Yeah, we were talking about it because we both have enjoyed doing live streams and that. We'll talk about it in a sec. We'll get through the comments. Oh, here we go. Dave, what was one of your favorite Christmas stories from what you've read?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing was not horror. It was that Mr. Dickens and His Carol, which was like the historical fiction, which I buddy read with Dia over at Novel Idea. It was such like I'm not big on historical fiction. I don't read a lot of historical fiction, but I just read it because it was Christmas themed and it was about Dickens, and I had a really nice time with it. It was a really nice Christmas novel. I really enjoyed that one. What about, did you read any Christmas themed stuff, Gareth?
Well, I read the graphic novel of Christmas Carol.
Right. Okay.
And I was going to read the actual book again, but I didn't get to it. So I did read that. So that was pretty cool. I usually try and watch a new adaptation I haven't seen because I love the story so much. I usually will try and find a TV or film adaptation I haven't seen, but I haven't managed to do that either. But I'll have access to lots if I can try and get one fitted in. But yeah, I love loads of the adaptations as well.
I'd love to hear Jess or anybody else if other people had good Christmas themed reads. I'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
For next year.
Let us know in the comments. Yeah, you can get them for next year. Yeah. Watson says, "Sir." Yeah. I think I still got that for you over there. Yeah.
Oh, we're behind here.
Oh yeah, what are you doing for New Year's Eve? Yeah, because we for New Year's goals. Well, I've talked to loads working. Yeah, I'm working. It's gonna be hard work as well. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But New Year goals. Don't know. I think keep up what I've said I'll do on the channel. Try and keep that going because you make these videos saying you're going to do it, and you got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or at least come close. So yeah, that's some of my goals. To be fair, there is some stuff I want to do for the band. So we've got a new album coming out next year, which would be good. Yeah, excited about that. And I need to talk to the band about another like a change I want to make in our plans. See if they're up for it. But that would be good. And I want to kind of build up the gigs again because I didn't chase the gigs so much when we lost our bass player, but now we've got a permanent replacement. I really want to kind of get people familiar with him now, as well as everyone else that they're already familiar with, So yeah, that's my plans. What about you? Have you got any plans for?
Yeah, I mean, I have it's be relatively quiet. I have an uncle who's really more like my brother. We're only a couple years difference, and so they're going to be coming up. It's kind of a tradition, so they're going to come up and just celebrate the New Year's together. And goals, yeah, I have a lot of goals. I'm going to get super trim and fit. I'm going to read a ton. Going to make tons of money this year. Those are all my resolutions.
World peace, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Just to aim to do that. Peace. We'll do that just with our show every 2 weeks. We'll create world peace just for that.
Yeah,
that's one of the aims of the show. So I'd get a couple of short books in before the end of the year. That's cool. So Kelly says she's read a bit of horror and gone to see the Riverman. Oh, I've heard about
that. Yeah, me too.
Oh my, it sounds a bit gory, but I have read. Yeah, I've heard about that. That sounds like a really good one.
It's been on like the extended TBR just because so many people have been talking about it.
Yeah, going to an English pub with Gareth is a good time.
I read that.
I wonder when Jeff's going to bring that up. A bit of smut. Yeah, you didn't do that in your Christmas readings, did you? Awesome.
No fireside reading of grave tidings.
With a red light next to you.
Yeah. Well, did you like it though, Jess? So that's a reference to that's how the book starts off: is the woman needs help with her Christmas tree.
Brilliant. No, we haven't done the announcement yet. We can do it in a minute. I'm just getting through it because I think I'm quite behind the knees because we were chatting away. Cornish game hens, nice. Pasties, yes, but not Cornish pasties. So that's interesting. So you have to send me a pasty from New Jersey pasties. I bet it's probably in America, Cornwall would be called New Cornwall, wouldn't it? So there's probably a New Cornwall somewhere.
Probably somewhere. I'm gonna look that up afterward.
No, I want a pasty. I want a pasty as well. I've got some pork pies, which is a close second. We bought some tonight. We went to the shops earlier, and they were reducing loads of stuff. So we got loads of stuff that we need to eat in the next sort of 24 hours. But that was pretty cool.
Gareth, so you saw the video where Olive had the pork roll, right, for her birthday?
Yeah.
The pork roll. So now you know what I was talking about. You have that there.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Yeah. Pork roll.
Not big over there, I guess.
Well, because pork pies have the pastry around it, which you didn't have on yours, did you?
No.
Yeah. This is literally like sausage meat, isn't it? So we have sausage meat, and you can just buy like that. Yeah. We like to put pastry around everything. It's like if in doubt, stick pastry around it. There we go. Pasties are sold for fundraisers or fundraisers, eh? And the Cornish talk like pirates. Arr, I'm from Cornwall. Arr. Oh, look at this. Oh, look, then they send it to pirate. This is awesome. In tomorrow's live stream, I want to see your pirate impression, MJ. Stick a patch on.
Me too.
And I want to hear you talk about where you're going to steal some gold from and all that. That'd be cool.
Yep, me too.
It's not what I thought pasties were. Oh no, you need to get a pasty. Come over here and get some pasties. Chihuahuas remind me of toddlers on Red Bull. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Different pronunciation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's brilliant.
Yep.
I've got 6, but oh, he's looked at my not read yet. Yeah, I know. My this month's been crazy. I normally on Goodreads, if there's a couple of books there that've been sitting there for ages because I haven't really touched them, so I started them, and then normally non-fiction books that I just sort of dip into slowly. But if there's 2 or 3 fiction books, that's me having a chaotic month. So yeah, I've got loads that are books I've started but not finished, loads more than normal. So I'm hoping I'll sort that out. And yeah,
I've had a few. I was thinking about doing a video on that actually as one of like the end of the year videos about like my book fails, because now I'm like looking back and there over the course of this year, there's actually a couple of books that I read in full that I failed just because I never talked about them on the channel, which I can't believe. I just never reviewed them. A couple I just forgot to review. And then there's there's several more books that I liked. I was liking them, but I just fell down on them. I have several unfinished books from this year that I like still am planning to finish that I've got like a small pile now of these unfinished books. So
are they
sounds like you have the same problem.
Or yeah, I've got some. Are they DRIHF books? DRIHF books.
DRIHF. Just tell me. What does it mean?
Didn't realize I hadn't finished.
Didn't realize I hadn't finished. Yeah. You just came up with a new acronym.
There we go. Yeah, let's spread that around. It's awesome. Didn't realize I hadn't finished.
Yeah.
DNF sounds so deliberate, doesn't it?
It's BookTube's fault, right? Because you're like, like you're doing something for an event, and then like the next thing comes. You're into the next month. The next thing comes. You got to move on, and you're like, okay, I'll just finish it on the side. And before you know it, a few months have gone by, and now I've got 3 or 4 of those just from this year, which I liked and was enjoying, and it totally planned to finish.
Like the female man.
Like, no, that's different. That was that is. I mean, look, Gareth, I will probably get, for anybody that doesn't know, The Female Man is a famous science fiction novel that deals with, allegedly important one that deals with gender issues. But Gareth and I we tried to buddy read it, and it was so awful. Neither one of us could finish it. It was just the way it was written. The style was like, it was like purposely trying to be confusing. And so Gareth, to his credit, finally went back to it and whoa. Something.
I know. See, it upset Olive as well. That book upset Olive as well.
Yeah. Do you see how quick she perked up there? Somebody must have got home or something. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a shame because I was excited about it because it's supposed to be this big feminist science fiction novel. It's like, well, in those days, definitely weren't as many of them. There's more now, but that was unusual. It's like, oh, cool. Let's have a look at this. And it's like, oh my God. It was, as they say over here, it was doing my nutting.
Yep.
Oh, look at this. Scott asked, this is one of my favorite things. Have you read the graphic novel of I Am Legend by Steve Niles? It's fantastic. It is amazing.
Oh, I haven't read it. I need to write that down.
Yeah. You can still get it. And you get it as a trade paperback where they put them all together, because I've got it like that, but I've also got it in its 4 separate issues. They were like
Okay.
smaller kind of comic form, if you like. But it's fantastic. It creates the atmosphere and tone and spirit of the book, which obviously the films don't. And the drawing, the illustration style is really nice. So yeah, no, absolutely. And Robert Neville himself is drawn really well. I just think it's fantastic. So yeah. Would you rather watch or pop fireworks on holidays?
Watch.
I'm not a fan of fireworks. Fireworks. I'm not a fan of fireworks. No.
So you wouldn't do either.
There's a line in an Amy Mann song called 4th of July. It says something about it being a waste of sky. I love that line. Yeah, I don't know. Just doesn't do anything for me. I go, ooh, pretty lights.
Even on bonfire night?
Yeah, bonfire night does, mate. There's loads going on all the time. Every night for about a week or 10 days, you get fireworks everywhere all the time. And, the dogs aren't a big fan, although these dogs are not as upset by them as all the other dogs we've ever had. If anything, Rosie, the cat, is more upset by them. But yeah, I just don't think they're nice to hear. And I don't know. I'm not typical. Most people go, ooh,
Yeah, I enjoy a good
you
fireworks show.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year, because our big fireworks holiday is the 4th of July, right? And every year we go to down in New Jersey. One of my family members lives on a lake, and they have a barge that goes out in the lake, and they shoot fireworks up from the barge. So that everybody's all, in their yards or on the boardwalk all around the lake watching the fireworks from there. So it's pretty good. And they put on a pretty good show. So we enjoy it. We go almost every year.
Yeah. There's a big music festival here at the end of August, and they always finish it with a big bonfire display. And to be fair, sometimes I don't mind that. I don't know if it's because you're on the field and the seafront, and you've been there hours, and it's a nice finish to the night. Maybe it feels a bit different, but
yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Leslie says that their dog's loyal and at their heels all the time.
Yeah.
Sounds like kick them by accident. Cliff's here. Yay!
Hey, Cliff. How are you?
Thanks, Cliff.
Thanks.
That's Cliff. Lovely. Lots of people say hi. Everyone, everybody says, hit it. Hit it.
Thanks, MJ.
Yeah, Cliff's awake. He's got fireworks going on around him. That's why he's awake. Oh, this is interesting. Unknowingly Jake. Hello, mate. I'm new to the channel. Just wondering, with the year coming to an end, what has been your favourite book to read this year? And would you like to see another sort of book with the same theme? John, you go first. Can you think of? I think we talked about this last time. Wasn't it? Favourite book of the year?
Yeah, I think my favorite book of the year, if not the favorite, one of the favorites was Tarzan. And in part because it was such a surprise. I just had no idea it was such a great book in so many ways. So very pleasantly surprised. I loved it for a lot of reasons. And would you like to see another sort of book like that? Yes, because I've now read 3 more of them. Awesome. And I'm going to keep reading that series. It's 24 of them altogether. So I'm going to just keep going.
That's cool. I read Princess of Mars this year.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was
you like
Edgar Rice Burroughs' first book, wasn't it? Yeah, I loved it. I really liked it. I was really chuffed actually because I did a video that I put a bit of time in. I filmed it twice. Did a book review of Princess of Mars, and I was like made up because Michael K. Vaughan, who's obviously a Rice Burroughs expert, he wrote underneath, "This is the best video on this book I've ever seen." I was like,
"Oh wow, yeah,
that was really good." So
yeah,
if you watch this at some point,
he's part of the reason that I read Tarzan. He actually sent me a little Edgar Rice Burroughs starter kit. And he sent me this very nice volume that had the first 3 Tarzan books in it, and that's what I read.
Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah,
I've got the
That's
first one, First and the Eight Man. I've got it upstairs, and so I need to read it.
Mhm.
Go on, what are you going to say?
Oh no, I was just going to say that's part of the magic of BookTube. It's it's everybody just in terms of their advice, but also in terms, like in this case, in terms of the gift and everything. It's what gets you to experience all these things you never would have. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. My favorite book of the year, I think, is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby, and I definitely want to read everything else he's done. He's written 3 others, I think. So I'm going to read those. I've got Blacktop Wasteland next to read, but I've been reading more crime in general. Actually, I don't think it's a typical crime book because there's so many elements of social commentary in it. It's crazy, and also I imagine, I don't know, but I imagine just the quality of writing is quite unusual because it's I've never been so gripped in a book in my life. It was like literally painful to put it down. If I had to leave for a minute, I was just like, oh no, So Razorblade Tears was just phenomenal.
I told you I had that book in my hand, right? Like every now and then I'll stop in the Goodwill to see what they've got there, because sometimes they've got some great used stuff there. And I had it in my hand, and I just put it. I'm like, I'm not going to get around to this, and I put it back, and I regret it because I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about that book.
Yeah, it seems to be lots of them types of people like it as well, which I think is really interesting. But no, it just the characters in it were amazing, and the way that he stacked up the plot. He put people in places that were like, no, you can't go there, and like something would happen. It'd be like, if that happens, knowing that person's over there, that can't happen. That's going to be horrific. And then it happens, and it's like, no, get over there, that kind of thing. It was so compelling, and he was so worried about everybody all the time. And as the plot was fed into the narrative, you slowly, the 2 main characters slowly figured out what was happening, and then once they know what's happening, then the kind of the murderers, if you like, know that those 2 characters know what happened, so then their lives are in danger and all that, and then it just ramps up like crazy, and it's just like it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Thanks for that question.
I'll read it.
Yeah, you got to read it. Tim says hi Tim.
Hey, Tim.
The flu keeps you up. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was the flu, not fireworks. I read Mouseburg when I was younger. I can't remember what it was though. It might have been short stories. But yeah, I've heard The Gamesman's really good. And it is definitely science fiction. Yeah, Mouseburg's quite an important name in early science fiction.
I've never read any Mouseburg. Write that down.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something that felt memorable at the time, but it's worth going back to. There we go.
Every one of these, I take notes.
Yeah, well, absolutely. You never know, do you? Yeah. So Crystal read Candy Cane Kills over Christmas. Christmas slasher story. That's one to write down, isn't it? Candy Cane Kills. Is that Kane written like that deliberately? And not Kane as in Kane? It must be how it's written.
Oh, it could be a pun, yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal, did you read Grave Tidings? Crystal said she wanted to read that one.
Yeah. Oh, Leslie's read that as well.
Yes,
awesome.
Candy Cane Kills was a blast. Huh. I'll have to check that out. Candy Cane Kills.
Candy Cane Kills. If I can't watch Beamus on a live stream, I'll probably just read until midnight. I don't know. I've never tried it. I think I wouldn't be able to have the data on my phone. Don't know. I could ask Louis. Don't know. We could probably do it for a later gig if we can sort ourselves out, but I don't know if New Year's Eve is a possibility, which is a shame. That'd be awesome if we could do that, live stream it to the world. But it's a long gig, so there'd be a lot of data. Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. What a
Yeah.
great book. That was
Yeah.
such a great book.
See, I've read one Joe Hill book, which is Heart-Shaped Box, and I've got Nosferatu to read, and I really liked Heart-Shaped Box a lot. I thought it was really good. So I'd say his pacing and his sort of the tone of it is different to his dad, I reckon. I don't think it's a different style, even though obviously it's probably an influence, but I think he's got a different way of writing, I think.
I haven't read Heart-Shaped Box yet, but I'm gonna read more by him because I first started with him because my favorite graphic novels ever were Lock and Key that he did. You know, have you read? You haven't read those?
I've read the first one. Really good.
Yeah, I love them. I can't even pinpoint what it is I love about them. It was just so different, and there was several different aspects of them, and it was just such a unique story. I don't know. I just love those. Those are my favorite of all time. And so that's what got me. And I read Nosferatu, and that was which also has its own I don't know if you know this, but Nosferatu also has a prequel graphic novel. In one of the maybe I don't know if you already know this about Nosferatu, but there's certain like objects, sometimes vehicles that have certain significance in that story, and one of them is a car. One of them is a car called Wraith, and so there's a graphic novel prequel that deals with like the main villain from Nosferatu, and the graphic novel prequel is called Wraith after the car.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's pretty decent too. I mean, the book's better, but that was decent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely need to read more Joe Hill.
Yeah. I have some books you read this year. I'm going to say, cool. Yeah, Cliff's have an influence. It's good.
Did very much on the book Krampus. It kept going and going and going. Is she talking about the smart one?
Yeah, I think so. I think we might be way behind here, so I'll try and go a bit faster.
So cute.
Yeah. So Kelly likes the. That's cool. Yeah. So light shows done by drones. That's better for the dogs, isn't it? Hello, Ginger Baby Fall.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Making them interesting. Oh, Nathan's here as well. Walking through a minefield. Oh my God! I had to get a resident in the building arrested.
What?
Wow. No, the announcement's come. We haven't even done the announcement yet. No, you're right. But I hope you're all right, Nathan. Sounds like you've had a hectic night.
Boy, people get crazy during this holiday week.
Yeah, I need to say hello to Jim. Hello, Jim.
Let me see if I can do it. How you doing, Jim? For those of you out there that don't know what we're talking about, Mystery and Mayhem. That's Jim. Gareth and I are both big fans of Jim's. If you're not subscribed to Mystery Mayhem, you should go check it out. Open up another window and go subscribe to that channel. We're both big fans. He has the most amazing voice you've ever listened to.
Yeah. If you know his channel, I want you to do us a favor and just do a little impression at home. Just say at home, hello, I'm Jim from Mystery Mayhem. Just do that at home. That's cool. We don't have to hear it. It'll just make me feel better that you've tried an impression of him.
It's like soothing.
He's like
so soothing listening to him talk, right?
He's the Barry White of BookTube.
He is. That's a good way to characterize.
You're the Barry White of BookTube. You can have that. Wow. Put that as a banner across your channel. The Barry White of BookTube.
Yeah.
Fireworks are the worst. Very traumatic. Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. That's the trouble, isn't it? And I think that's become more of a discussion now, which is why, as Kelly said, I think it was, there are now places where light shows are done by drones instead of fireworks. New Year's Day. Oh, that's an interesting one. I know I won't do a live one because I'll be knackered because I'll be getting in from the gig at about. I'll sort of crawl into the house at about 3 o'clock, I suppose, maybe 3:30, and I'll be dead. So I'll probably be getting up quite late on New Year's Day. I haven't got anything scheduled. My after now, actually, my next scheduled video is on either the 2nd or the 3rd, I think. Or is that? Oh, I might have done Al's tag. I think I might have done Al's. I did a tag that Al from Big Hard Books and Classics tagged me in, but it's like I did it because he tagged me, but it's pretty much a repeat of the one I did before, which is reviewing the year. But I thought I'd do it as he tagged me. But it's
we're like
really
we're like the total opposite. You're like so planned out ahead. I'm just like I can barely like film my stuff in like timely fashion.
Well, sometimes it's bad because I have to redo them because I'll watch them again and go, well, I don't even think the same thing anymore, you know, or you know, I wanted to add something to it or something, you know.
Yeah.
But there you go. Hey, Jim. Doesn't sound fun.
Sound
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, you should definitely try it. I had no idea that it was such a good book.
All of these comments, if we can imagine, all these comments are actually people doing Jim impressions. So, yeah. Ginger Bibliophile is going, oh,
Yeah.
Tarzan sounds fun. And then
Yeah.
MJ says, yes.
Yeah. You just have to imagine them all in Jim's voice.
Yeah. Imagine Kelly saying, finding your channel was a bit of a trek, but I found it. I can't do an impression like well. I can only do, hi, I'm Jim. I can't do anything more than that.
Uh-oh. I have to, something's wrong with my, I'm going to run out of power in a second. Just give me a second.
Okay. I'll go through the comments. I'm reading this book about a young lady that was murdered here in Austin with an axe. Oh, my God. I'm searching for her grave. They say she ghostly walks there. Oh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. So Scott or Becky, probably Scott, says his favorite book was All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. So my favorite was Razor Blade Tears. You've got to read it. If you haven't read his stuff, guys, amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, check out Kelly's channel. I want to read that next year. So that is one of the things I mentioned in the response to Al's Big Hard Books and Classics tag. So I do actually pick up a copy of Grapes of Wrath and say I want to read that. So yeah, I need to read it. Didn't get to it. S.A. Cosby is my automatic author. I've not read yet. I love that. So Dave, you all right now? Oh, you back?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. That plug wasn't working, I guess. I almost ran out of battery power there.
That's cool. Well, someone says here about Grace of Wrath. Have you read, what Steinbeck have you read?
Me? I haven't read any Steinbeck. Isn't that awful?
Oh, okay. So you haven't read of Martin Men?
No.
Okay. That's quite a short one. So if you want to nip into that quickly, you can read that in a day, probably. Grapes of Wrath is a lot bigger. But yeah.
Make sure I close everything.
Take salt for a ghost hunt. Throw salt at them. I like that. Jenny knows about how to tackle a ghost. Yeah, I thought that. I thought Kelly didn't have a channel, but I was like, yeah. Why do they leave coins on cemeteries? Oh. IMJ. Right, my favourites would have to be either Bitches of Enchantment or the Zoe Grimm Chronicles. Oh, awesome. Let's look these up. Bitches of Enchantment sounds like a really full-on title, doesn't it?
Bitches of
yeah. Ginger Bibliophile does some really cool fairy tale videos. We were going to talk about my terrible attempt at doing a folklore and fairy tale readathon this year. It just didn't happen, so I'm going to try and get that started again next year. But I know that Ginger Bib Files fairy tale content's brilliant on her channel. So if you're interested in fairy tales, look up her channel. There's some good chatting going on. So to bribe the ferryman, don't pay the ferryman. But maybe it's ammo to throw at people. Ghosts aren't meant to be able to cross salt. Ah, there we are.
No,
So because she didn't get the great times.
But she did read some unhinged holiday smut, one of which was a Krampus story. Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Asking for Olive, she would like to know what the name of that Krampus smut story is.
Asking for Olive,
right?
Yeah,
because since she enjoyed the other holiday smut, she's figured maybe she'd check out some more.
So on Supernatural, Jenny says they put it in shotgun shells to make ghosts go away. Love it. So they're going to go on a ghost hunting spree. I think this sounds awesome. I need to know how this goes. Do you watch Supernatural?
I have seen it, but it was not a show that I watched. I mean, I maybe saw, I don't know, 2 episodes or something like that, long time ago. You?
No, but the theme song is a really famous song, isn't it? What's the theme song?
I don't know.
I can't remember, but yeah. So I think the theme song is a song I really like, from what I remember.
Yeah, that's a very successful show.
Oh yeah. It's getting shown a lot over here. It's always been shown.
Yeah, many years.
Nosferatu's hands down David's best novel. Here we go. Yeah, I need to read it.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's long.
So we caught up with the impressions of Jim, I think.
Love you guys. Just picture him saying it in the voice.
Oh yeah. Love you guys. In a space. Okay. Awesome. As in 15 seasons of a Supernatural.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's
yeah. Well, Game of Thrones is brilliant.
3 times, really? The whole thing?
Yeah.
I'm going
down for it very quickly.
Sorry.
MJ's off. Yes.
All right, see you, MJ.
See you tomorrow.
See you in like
for more shenanigans.
15 hours or something.
Yeah, about 15 hours, something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So lots of people saying goodbye. Oh, someone else is leaving. Oh,
I gotta take.
Got to go.
Care of
Oh, thanks for coming in. That was awesome.
Right. See you. Thanks for coming.
Hopefully, I might have got you some people having a look. Prices on Godlyhood Estates for acoustic guitars. Oh, funnily enough, it's a good question. I am not an electric guitarist, so I'm definitely an acoustic guitarist. I can play electric, obviously, but I much prefer acoustics. My guitar, my baby, the one that I gig with all the time. It was a lovely moment when we went into a shop, and because we had the money and we'd saved up, and it was just one of those moments, and it was about time. My wife said, "Just pick whatever you want." It was 4 floors of guitars. This shop was huge. It's called Guitar Village. It was 4 floors of guitars. So I was in there for hours and hours, and I was like, "I'm going to pick a great guitar that's going to be with me for life." And I whittled it down to 3 guitars, a Mako guitar, which is an Australian make, and a Martin and a Taylor. And in the end, I went with a Taylor. So my guitar is a Taylor guitar. So it's a beautiful guitar. I love the guitar to death. It's just like, I really love it. And anyone that plays it says, "Oh my God, this guitar is really good." And it's worth £1,600. So it's a expensive one. But my son's got a Martin, and it's a really nice guitar. So yeah, I'd say those are really good as well. Hopefully that answers his question. Does Aaron read a book? Aaron read a book. Aaron read a book. Aaron read a book. All the Sinners Bleed is 99p on Kindle. S.A. Cosby.
All the Sinners Bleed.
Yeah. East of Eden is 99 pence on the Kindle. Everyone's got to go to the Kindle and find these 99 cents books. People saying goodbye. Theme song. Yeah, what is the theme song? Oh, it's Carry On My Wayward Son. Yeah. Absolute banger of a tune. I love that song so much. And I try and get my students to play it if they're kind of strong enough to be able to play it. It's such an interesting one from students because every layer of that song has some difficulty to it. So the harmony is difficult, the piano part is difficult, the drum part, bass part, guitar part. You know, there's loads in that song, so it's quite a good one for students to play. Yeah. And I've had some classes abandon it as well because they say, "Oh, it's too hard." Yeah.
Order book 2.
Order book 2.
Yes, I mean, well, I didn't order it myself. I mean, yeah. I didn't order that smut.
Winterlind. I think Winterlind's been here before.
Yep.
What became of Christa Berg? He's still around, sadly. Sorry, I didn't say that. He's still around. He pops up on our TV. He popped up on our TV recently. Like morning show or something, doing Spaceman Came Traveling. But yeah, he's still around. The horrific eyebrows of Christa Berg. Announcement.
Oh yeah.
Should we? So I'll just quickly see where. Oh, actually, we could do that because
we're an hour and a half in. I think we have to.
Yeah. So, do you want to announce it?
No, you announce it. You thought of the name.
Yeah. So we've kind of regularly been doing live streams. So often with MJ as well. But we thought we could do a fortnightly show. Is that going to freak people out? Fortnightly? What does he mean? Fortnightly. If any Americans in the chat know what fortnightly means, they get 20 points. So we thought rather than having it too pressured and I do it every week, we'd do it every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, we're going to do a live show and we're going to call it Is This On? Because that's like a joke that obviously it'd be fun to call it that. And we'll just see what we talk about at the time, see what we're reading, see what happens in the chat. I'd like to try and have an overall question that we can talk about. What do you reckon, Dave? That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, we're planning to
see what happens.
Plan to have a lot of guests, right?
Yeah, we'll have some guests.
You know, and so yeah, we just thought it'd be fun to do a regular show because to our surprise, there seemed to be enough people that seem to be interested in our nonsense every time we do one of these live streams. So we figured it'd be nice to do a regular show that people, you know, seem to have good chemistry here. Regular show that people could depend on, and you know, we'll always have fun with you guys. So
yeah, and what we could do as well, if we get Brian from Bookish on, we'll try and get him to dress as Biscuit Rage.
and we can have, like, when we get tired of talking, we could have Jim do voiceovers for us on the show.
Yeah, we can't have too much of Jim on our show because it'll probably be censored for its sensuality.
Yeah. It'll put us out of business.
But yeah, that's it. So Scott or Becky knew that it's every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, fortnightly. And then as Jenny said, do you mean a battle royale? I've actually got Fortnite on my system now because I use a PS4 for YouTube and all sorts of things like that. And because I found out that both my kids played Fortnite together remotely, I said, "So how you doing that? How you doing that?" And then he said, "Don't worry, I'll sort Fortnite out on your PS4, so I might be involved in that." Never played Fortnite before in my life, so that might be quite funny. But yeah, it's not a battle royale. Fortnite's really big though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've never tried it.
Yeah, I think it's a battle to the death kind of thing all the time. I think, as far as I know, I don't know. There might be some. I think there might be some games within the game as well, from what my daughter was saying. But yeah, I think that's the general point, that it's like a battle royale thing. But yeah.
I see you, Jess.
Oh yeah, someone said goodbye. Was that Oh yeah. See you later, Jess.
Oh,
Awesome.
and Cliff. See you, Cliff.
And Cliff. See you later, Cliff. So yeah, this is big news. I had one of these for Christmas. So it's a CD player, and I've got loads of CDs I haven't listened to yet that I bought ages ago that I just haven't put on my system to put on my iPods or my phone. And it'd be really nice to catch up with those. I love CDs. That's why I did my 100 album challenge. Although nobody really watches those.
Is this? I heard you mention you got a bunch for your son for Christmas. Are CDs still really big over there?
Yeah, they're getting bigger. So you still got like record shops that are selling CDs. Their vinyls come back big, and a lot of floor space is used up by vinyl that you didn't used to. But yeah, CDs still take up a lot of space, which is really good because I really like CDs. So yeah, that's all good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And one of the things I'll be talking about on the channel is this. Right. So this is, hold on, I didn't get this for Christmas, but they're CDs. So they're radio dramas of the Twilight Zone.
Oh, so it's just the audio of the shows?
No, it's I think they're specially done because it's got Stacey Keach is hosting them, it says. I don't know if you can see that.
Dramas, okay. Yeah.
And it's got starring Lou Diamond Phillips, Jane Seymour, Blair Underwood, James Keach, Ed Begley Jr., and loads of other people I don't know. And they're 10 CDs, 8 hours long, and they're 10 different programs. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't. So are they related to the episodes though?
Yeah, it looks like they are dramatizations of the original stories. So you've got things like The After Hours, Late Nights of the Hour, The Man in the Bottle, Night of the Meek, Lonely. So these are famous episodes.
Yeah. Gareth, I literally just watched Night of the Meek yesterday.
Hey, awesome.
Because it's
the Christmas one, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's Christmas time. I'm like, okay, there's a few Christmas. I love Twilight Zone. I'm like, there's a few Christmas episodes. I had just watched Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up?
Yeah.
Because I read a Christmas horror book that I thought was going to be similar to that.
The Visitor, right?
Sorry? The Visitor, yeah. The Visitor. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like that episode. I mean, it wasn't, but I thought it was going to be. So I just watched that again, and then I watched the Meek. What was the name of it again? The Meek.
Night of the Meek.
The one you just mentioned.
No, Night of the Meek.
Night of the Meek. Yeah. With where he's got the magic bag.
Yeah.
That was a great Christmas episode. So,
have you got them on? Like, do you own them, or did you watch them on?
I do. I was actually watching it on. I do. My wife a few years back. My wife did. After hinting a couple years, my wife finally got me the full set with like 200. What is it? 228 episodes, I think.
Awesome.
220 something. So I got all the episodes on DVD. But I was actually just watching them on. I have this streaming service. We have over here. We call it Paramount Plus. I don't know if you have it over there, but
yeah, we've got Paramount Plus. Are they on Paramount Plus? Are they?
They're all on. Yeah, they're on all because I guess because they did the new. Jordan Peele had that new Twilight Zone show, and that was on CBS, the Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So I guess they must have bought I don't know how it works, but maybe they bought.
No, the original series from CBS.
Yeah, was it? Okay.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So they've got them all now.
I can't tell you how much I love the Twilight Zone, and I'm actually tempted. One of the things I was going to say, I mean, we've been chatting for a long time, I haven't had to do it, but one of the things I was going to ask the people watching was, what shall I spend my tokens on? Because I've got £90 to spend in HMV, so I was going to buy some Blu-rays. So do I buy the Twilight Zone, or do I buy some films that have come out? Do I buy some special editions to some classic films? Don't know. If anyone wants to recommend some things I should buy, I might buy box sets of Twilight Zone, because the original ones is 60 quid, and then you can get the 80s ones, I think, are 40, I think, and then you can get the new ones as well. But it'd be nice to have them. And I can't play DVDs on my PS4. You could play CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays on PS3s, but I can only play Blu-rays on there. So I've got rid of loads of DVDs, and I want to have a look at, because I love the special features on DVDs and Blu-rays. I really like special features, commentaries and stuff. I love that. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at that direction. So if anyone wants to recommend anything,
look, the only thing I would say is that the Twilight Zone episodes are very rewatchable.
Yeah.
Over and over. So just keep that in mind as you're making your decision.
Okay, you'll have your voice in my head. Brian's done a drive-by.
Rage Biscuit.
I felt that as well. I felt it when he did that. Every 2 weeks. Yeah, that's the plan. So, boombox. Yeah, nothing says Gen X and X. Well, yeah, it's a very small one though. But yeah, it is if you imagine it like twice the size, that's what you take down to the beach to play football in, wasn't it? In those days, small speakers.
I mean, yeah. She makes a fair point. You're definitely dating yourself holding that thing up.
Why not? I think I think people do see these messages anyway, don't they? But I'll put it up anyway. So Cliff said thank you to, I think it was Bad. In Aaron, there's still in Essex. Aaron says they're still on Sony Walkmans. Yeah, Sony Walkmans have come back as well. Be amazed if I see these. People are buying cassettes as well. I noticed there's a few shops I went in. The cassettes were being sold.
They're making cassettes.
They're making cassettes. How cool is that?
I mean, are those like bootleg cassettes or something?
They're bringing out. Well, I think to be fair, I think they were secondhand that I could see, but there are people putting them in themselves. Okay. But I know they have made some new cassettes as well, which is pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, physical media is awesome. Isn't it? It's not all this digital stuff. Bullshit. Crystal said I bought myself a CD player. Hey.
Yeah.
Love it. Tim says a lot of vinyl and for music from the 90s and beyond. Yeah, I buy it. There we go. Tim's loving the physical media. Awesome. He's giving us a thumbs up. You'll probably be on it at some point, Scott. Oh, Kelly says
once or twice.
yeah, probably every week. Kelly's decluttering. Swedish death cleaning. And there's a famous book about that. Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough. I love my physical media. It's got to be said. I don't think my wife does. I think she wants it all out of the house, but she's got a massive collection of print stuff. So, it's this, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as they say. Our Cliff's not gone. Fortnightly. See, Jim's got it. Fortnightly. Spelled it right as well. It's not because the Fortnightly game is spelt funny, isn't it? Because you guys don't like the G and the H in night.
Right.
You've got a thing. As long as you go, there's too many letters in this word. What's going on? Take them out. Take them out. The I should not be in aluminium even. You say aluminum, don't you? Not aluminium. Take the I out.
Is how we say, yeah.
And I suppose if you're not careful with aluminium, it will take your eye out, wouldn't it? So that's good.
All
Time for
right,
bed.
Cliff. Feel better, man.
Yeah. Get well soon. So Jim buys Western films. Nice. And the Rockford Files. I can see that. Yeah. Nice. I like that.
What are the Rockford Files?
It's a detective thing. James Garner. Do you remember James Garner?
I think so.
It was in the 80s. I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s. And it had a really cool theme tune that sort of went. It's gonna have a copyright strike now because that was so perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
We should do that. We should tomorrow. We'll hijack the chat with MJ and just do loads of theme songs. We go. Guess what this is? What's going on? Get lawyer John. Okay, so there's a vote for Twilight Zone from Crystal.
Yeah, I agree, Crystal. Right?
Kelly didn't watch it, but they had The Hitchhiker. Oh, nice. Let's look at that.
Yeah, The Hitchhiker.
Do you remember that?
I totally forgot about that. My dad and I used to watch that. Yeah, because my dad was really into all that kind of stuff. Twilight Zone, Amazing Stories, The Hitchhiker. I forgot about that one.
I need to look that up.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Kelly. I gotta write that down in my notes because I totally forgot about that.
Brilliant. Something I just thought of because we're talking about story series, and one of my favorite Henson things is a Storyteller. Did you ever watch a Storyteller with John Hurt?
No, is that the same kind of thing?
It's like, well, they're kind of European folk tales that's done with the Creature Shop, Jim Henson's Creature Shop, and they were amazing. And they might be on. You might be able to access them on Amazon Prime, maybe. Okay. I'm not sure. But the Storyteller, it's amazing. Really, really good. And they did another follow-up called Grimm's Tales, I think, which was Michael Gambon doing the Storyteller role rather than John Hurt. But John Hurt was so good at it. I mean, John Hurt's an amazing actor, isn't he? But yeah, that was really cool. So
I know what I'll be doing tonight.
Cassettes are still being made. Lots of new metal music is on cassette. Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That amazes me. I didn't think anybody was making cassettes anymore.
I love it because my sister had the record player and I had the cassette player when I was a kid. So before CDs happened, I had cassette players, and I'm a big. Can you hear him? Can you hear Ralph going? Meow?
Yeah. I heard he wants some screen time, man.
Yeah. You all right, Ralph?
Is he dreaming?
No, he's scratching. You all right? He's going, come here.
Olive will do that. She'll so then when she's sleeping, she'll make some funny noises, and I'll wake her up because I'm not sure if she's having a nightmare, you know.
Yeah. I love it when when they look like they're running in their dream.
Yeah, right. It makes me wonder, right? Because like they're dogs, right? And so they can only have nightmares about things that they legitimately have some fears, right, or anxieties about. And like, I mean, she's got like a perfect life. I can't imagine like what she could actually be. What could be happening in her life that she would be having a nightmare about? You know what I mean?
I always wondered about that phrase, "It's a dog's life," as a negative thing. Could you just think, what? A dog's life's awesome. Why is that a negative thing? You just like lay about, don't you?
Maybe she's like dreaming that she only got one pork roll instead of 2 pork rolls for her birthday breakfast or something. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely got an imagination, haven't they? Because they know when you're coming home, and that's because they're familiar with something that comes back from their memory. So they can join the dots, can't they? They've definitely got an imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it? You have cognitive skills, Ralph. Although you wouldn't believe it from my dog.
Sorry?
You wouldn't believe it from my dogs, though. They like to pretend they're stupid.
Oh.
Don't you? But we know you're cleverer than you think. No, cleverer than you show.
That's part of their game, man. That's part of their game.
Yeah, but no, you're right. That idea of that they're dreaming from some anxiety, it's just funny, isn't it? Because probably it's, if we knew what it was, it'd be amazing to know what it was.
All right. But it's got to be something like that. It's like, like they didn't get served dinner or something,
Yeah.
That would be Olive's true worst nightmare. Is like, we forgot to give her dinner,
Or the cats appeared in the house.
Right. Why don't you wake up for a minute? Come say hi. Come on.
I'm getting licked to death. I know.
Here, you want a little pick me up here? You want a little pick me up?
So William says he wishes the CD-ROM would make a comeback. Yeah, computer games. Yeah, well, it'd be nice if they just updated the games, so they put them on new consoles. That'd be good, because some of them are amazing, those old ones, aren't they? And sometimes they lose the point with some of the new ones. There you go. Crystal buys her K-pop albums and physical media. So yeah, is that vinyl or CDs? I think she buys vinyl, doesn't she? I think.
I love how passionate Crystal is about K-pop. I don't like K-pop at all. Not that I hate it or anything, but I have no interest in K-pop. But I love watching her videos about her K-pop like obsession, because she loves it so much, and she's like so excited about K-pop.
Yeah.
I just like love how much she loves it.
No, it's awesome, and it's really nice seeing the as you say, the passion about it in the videos. When I went into HMV last time I went in, it was the first time I had a really good walk around, like every bit of it. But there's a massive bit just on K-pop. It's like takes up like a fair proportion of the first half of the building. It's interesting that they know, because like a lot of the comic shops feature manga a lot. A lot of East Asian culture. It's all over the place. Over here, and it's just interesting. There's so much given to K-pop. In
It's
HMV.
funny, because I was thinking that as you were saying that. I was just going to say that, because same around here, just like with the bookstores, with the manga. The manga section, like if you walk into like a local Barnes and, well, you don't have the Barnes and Nobles, right? The
no, probably our equivalent is probably Waterstones. I would have thought.
Yeah,
a big chain.
You walk into a one of these like big Barnes and Nobles like around here, and the manga is they're huge. The manga section, they've really taken over a lot of that side of the bookstore where all the fantasy and sci-fi and comics and that stuff is. Manga's like got a huge piece of it now.
Yeah,
I guess it's the same with like the K-pop in the music.
Yeah. That's huge. Yeah. So Kevin says, in 1978, my friend's brother had a Marantz reel-to-reel and floor-sized Polk speakers. That's awesome. I think if you have a really good separates, you've got really like good expensive speakers and a nice amplifier stuff, you can have like perfect sound. But it's just a lot to get. Yeah, and it takes up a lot of room in your house, but you can get that perfect sound, can't you? Because digital music is condensed. It's not the quality is not great. Most people don't care, but it isn't the same quality as vinyl and CDs. It just isn't, because they condense the recording so much, so they can make MP3s or whatever. Steve, I'll get back into physical media as soon as you can buy me a bigger house. Well, yeah, it takes up a lot of house. I've got loads of CDs in the loft, as well as the CDs are over there. I've got, I don't know, there's probably about 1,000 CDs over there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's another few hundred in the loft, probably the ones that kind of like my jazz and my classical, and some of the weirder ones are up in the loft, and some that I've been given. Some of my friends' CDs, the ones that they've recorded, are in the loft. But my favorites are over there and over there as well. So it's like 3 parts.
Wow.
And then over there to my immediate left is a massive stack, which is my wife's print CD. She's got everything he's done in many copies of each thing, plus every bootleg you can think of. And she's got literally hundreds of print CDs. So
Prince?
Yeah. Yeah.
As in the artist formerly known as Prince, that Prince?
Yeah, the artist formerly known as. She's he's the other part of our relationship. He's the other man. Yeah. You look like you might have frozen.
Yeah. Are you frozen or no? Just me?
I don't think I'm frozen. Yeah, I've got just to kind of look out for those kind of things. I've got it on my TV as well, and it looks like I'm not frozen. So
it's just me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to redo it. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone else, no, that's the American spelling. Yeah, the American spelling. Don't get me started on American spellings. The best man in the world, 100%. Oh, I missed that. Who's the best man in the world? You English and your extravagant spellings. I know, we love our letters. We like keeping them in there. We love them. I'm so old. We did a pom-pom routine to Rockford Files. Yeah! Do. Hold on. Yes, Storyteller was great. Prisoner had good music. No, you're right. And I want to rewatch The Prisoner because it's on one of my channels. I can't remember which channel it's on. There's some sort of the channel's called something like Old TV or something, and it's on that. That is cool, Leslie. Absolutely. Storyteller was great. Loved the dog. Well, yeah, loved the dog. The dog looked a lot like Ralph, didn't it, Ralph? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to hold you up. That is the Storyteller dog for you. And actually, look at the camera, Ralph. Look at the camera. Look at that. If that's not a Muppet dog, innit? You're like a Muppet, aren't you? You're like a Muppet. You are so chilled. MJ's back. So you're back, but Dave isn't. Dave's. Oh no, he is back. Hold on, I need to bring him back. Hold on. Whoa.
Sorry, I
thought I was watching.
There.
I thought I was looking out for you, but I wasn't. Are you all right now?
All right.
Good.
I just shut it all down.
So we just had. What did we miss? We missed a little bit about Storyteller and the Rockford Files. Oh, Aaron said The Prisoner had good music. Did you ever watch The Prisoner?
That's an old the show from like the 60s or 70s.
Yeah,
really old
60s.
Show. Yeah, no, that's like in my little TV queue. I haven't tried it yet, but I've been meaning to.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, it's great. It's quite unique, actually. The whole thing is him trying to escape from a government kind of village that he doesn't know why he's there, and he keeps trying to escape. And every time he leaves, he's back there again, and it's just quite odd.
Yeah, I wanted to try it because it reminded me of a show. I think it was called Persons Unknown. Did you ever hear of that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, is that the right name? I'm gonna look that up real quick. Let me see.
Okay, Persons Unknown. It's another sort of someone doesn't know why they're.
Yeah, Persons Unknown. Yeah, that was one of those ones I remember. Like, I think it's like one of those like top 10 shows that I've seen because it was just so unique and so gripping. It was they wake up in this like it's like a ghost town.
Yeah,
and there's somebody else there. I don't want to give anything away in case anybody wants to watch it, but there's like nobody else there except there's a Chinese restaurant. And there's a Chinese family that runs a Chinese restaurant, but they only speak Chinese, so they can't talk to them.
Nice.
All they can do is go over there and get food, but they can't speak to them about why they're there. And the rest of the town is like empty, and they have no idea why they're there, and they can't leave. Yeah. So you've seen it, or you know of it?
No, but I knew of it. So I hadn't seen it, but I knew of it. So yeah. That's cool. I think it's been mentioned before when The Prisoner was mentioned.
Yeah, it was really good. There was only like a season or two, but it was just one of those shows that was like so original that I always remember it as like we really, really looked forward to watching it.
Yeah. There's only one season of The Prisoner actually. They finished doing it, but it was set. Okay. It was filmed. Sorry, not set. It was filmed in Portmeirion, which is this really odd place in North Wales, which was designed like 17th century and 18th century Italian villas, So it's got this really odd look about it. We went and visited there when we went to North Wales a couple of years ago, and that was really cool. Going to Port Miriam where they filmed it.
Okay.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
No, I was just saying I got to try it out. There's something about that trope where they just like, it just sucks me in. Like the other one was, that Crouch.
Well, yeah.
They
Dark
made
Matter.
TV
The beginning of Dark Matter, isn't it? He doesn't know why he's been taken away or whatever, and doesn't know what's going on.
Well, look, that awesome book. I agree. That's an awesome book, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the
the
Pine series.
Yeah.
And they did it. I didn't read the books, but I watched the show, and I understand the show was loosely based on the books.
Yeah.
And that I think the show was called. Was the book just called Pines? And the show
the show is called Pines. I think the first book's called Pines. No, or was it Wayward Pines? Might be called Wayward Pines. I don't know. The second one's called The Last Exit, I think.
Okay.
I've got all 3 books, and I've only read the first one, but I read it so long ago. I need to read the first one again to reread the whole all 3. So I am going to planning to do that this year at some point.
Okay. I'll body read that if you want.
Yeah. There's the first one's really good. So yeah.
You haven't seen the show?
No, I haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
I think he was involved, wasn't he, as well?
I don't know, but I've always wanted to read the books because I love the again. That show is top 10 show for me. My wife and I, and it's the rare show where my wife and I both love it. We always say one of the secret store marriage is we have so different, and we have such completely different interests and everything. So there's she'll never watch a sci-fi show with me, forget it. We generally have but that was one of those rare ones that just kind of crossed genres and stuff. And so we both were really, really into it. But I heard it was only loosely based on the book. So I've always been interested in reading the books ever since I watched the show. The show was excellent, though. You should check it out. It was excellent.
Okay. It's nice when you can find something you both like, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Crystal asked if Leslie remembers the pom-pom routine to the Rockford Files music. You use Triumph cassettes. That's cool. Welcome back, MJ. Kenny saying he's old.
Going to the toilet, actually looking. That's true, Jenny. That is probably the type of dream they're having.
Love it.
It's probably fairly accurate.
Kenny likes to tell a good guitarist to play Midsummer Daydream. It's like, go on, play that. I bet you can't. Roy's here. Yeah, Rockford Files. Yeah, so that would have been on when me and Roy were quite young. I think it was late 70s, I think, when it was on. But I think it went into the 80s, but yeah, big thing. Jim says, "Hey, Roy." 3,000 albums on 500 CDs. That's what I'm talking about. Stop Camera CD somewhere in the 90s, and they hit 12,000. Wow, 12,000 CDs. That's awesome.
Cow.
And I think,
and that was in the 90s. He hit 12,000.
Yeah,
that was several decades ago.
Yeah,
he hit 12,000. Wow.
I think Person of Interest was different. That wasn't. Person of Interest was about the surveillance thing. I used to watch that. That was good.
I like Persons Unknown. Did they ever make more than season 1? I don't think so. But it's a good question. It's time to go look that up and see if anybody ever picked it up again. But I don't think they ever did. Person of Interest. That's what the guy from Lost, right? What was his name?
Yeah. Michael Emerson. Michael Emerson, I think his name is.
Yeah, I think that's right. Right.
He was really good.
Yeah, check out that show because I thought he was such a good actor in Lost.
Lost is so good, isn't it? People, because they fluff the ending, people don't like talking about Lost, but it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
we need to do a special live stream. What we'll do, we'll get my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Not my brother-in-law, my son-in-law, not my brother-in-law, my son-in-law. Jesse's husband is obsessed with Lost. He thinks it's the best thing ever. And he doesn't think he doesn't think the ending is bad. He likes the ending. So it'd be really cool to have a discussion about Lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so I will say, just as a because we should absolutely do that. So we won't talk about it too much tonight, but just
it'd be awesome. Yeah, we'll talk about our favorite bits in it, our favorite characters, stuff like that.
Lost is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things that, like, eventually I probably will watch a show that I like better, but it's like that I always say it's like that pumpkin cheesecake that I had in Philadelphia once. Even when the day comes when I actually have a better dessert that I like better, the memory of it will be so elevated in my memory that there will never be anything that in my mind
be like,
catch up.
It can't be better than that. It can't be better than that. Yeah.
I think Lost is like that. It will probably, till the day I die, be my favorite show of all time. But I was very unhappy with the ending. I was very unhappy with that ending. I thought they owed us more than that. I thought they were too rushed, especially for a show that knew that their last 3 years was their last 3 years. I didn't think that needed to go down that way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter to me because that show was about the journey, not about the ending. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I've got an issue with the last season, the whole season, because I think it just got there. It was too much. They just added too much.
Yeah.
And in the end, I think they lost the spirit of what it was. But we can talk about that in this other live stream because so many things were brilliant. If you think about the last bit, fine. But then you think about not Penny's boat.
Yeah.
Not Penny's boat. Oh my God.
That was an amazing scene.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. and like when I don't even remember what the context is, but there's a moment when Saeed is tied up or something and he's got to get out of a situation and it's just like, whoa, he just goes mental and it's just like amazing. And obviously he's got this history where it's justified. His kind of history as in intelligence and stuff or whatever it was, it does make sense what he does, but it's just you're not expecting it. And it's just like, wow, what's going on? It's so cool. It might be that he ends up having a crucial role when that little village gets invaded. When they go back in time, and I think he ends up being someone who is in the firing line. I think, from what I remember, something like that. So a little bit faint. But yeah, amazing. Saeed was an amazing character, wasn't he?
He was. I think it's time for me to rewatch.
Yeah. I watched it a little while ago because Louis wants to watch them all the way through, and we got to the last season, and then it was just a fluke because I was telling him we'll still watch him, but I'm not a massive fan. We'll still watch him, and he moved out, so we didn't manage to, and we've just forgotten to watch the rest of it. But we need to. So Jim's gone. Jenny's saying goodnight. Oh, that's what it is. So Dave was saying that the guy who was in the remake of The Prisoner was in Persons of Interest. That might be Jim Caviezel, whatever. The Avengers, nice. The original Avengers. I like those, especially the Diana Rigg ones. They're really cool. Do you ever see the Diana Rigg Avengers?
The Avengers are great, man.
The original series, yeah. That's awesome, isn't it? Oh, Dave didn't like the TV series.
Really? I don't know.
He said awful. It's not even just not great. He says awful.
Awful, really? All right, Dave. I'd like to know. No, seriously, I'd like to know why you thought it was awful.
Oh, and Leslie's she's gonna film the pom-pom routine for us and then send us a video, which is great. Thanks for doing that. Yeah. I think the earlier ones are the better ones. I think they're brilliant. Like I think Diana Rigg was the first assistant companion or whatever, and then they didn't have the same character to them, the others, but they still had the same style of episode. But there was something about the way Diana Rigg did it. She was amazing. What was her character name? No. Ah, somebody tell me what the character name of Diana Rigg's character was. It was awesome. Okay, Scott's going to go. I think it's Scott. I do apologise that the entire time that was Becky. But I kept assuming it was Scott because it sounded like Scott.
Oh.
I mean, he was doing it with an impression of Jim as well, which is really clever. Oh, so Dave Love lost, but he didn't like the ending. But
Okay,
he says it ruined it. You've got to remember the early stuff, haven't you? Can't let it ruin it, can you? That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not over Charlie. Oh,
yeah,
not Penny's boat.
Not Penny's boat. They admit they were making up as they were going along. They didn't end it. Well, they did say they might have got that at the end because it felt like that at the end. But I know they did have a thing where they knew in the beginning, certainly in the first 3 or 4 seasons, they knew where there was what the start was and what the end was, and then they kind of filled in the gaps. But they did have an idea of the general plot of it. But I think
he's talking about Lost now, not
yeah,
right? Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, they knew it wasn't like it got canceled with like a half a season left or something. They had to try to wrap stuff up. They knew the timetable. They had plenty of time. They had 3 years to plan it out. You know, like I don't understand how it happened. I feel like they I don't know, with these things with like book sequels and TV shows ending and things like that. Like sometimes people say, well, they don't really owe you anything, but I think they do. If you ask people to get invested and commit for that long, I think you owe them something, right?
If they're making it an ongoing plot, then they do, don't they? Because they've told you they're going to have a good, or they've implied that there's going to be a good conclusion to it all. So I think that's true. And if you compare it to something like Babylon 5, where he did plan all 5 years out, and then he thought he wasn't going to get a 5th season, so he changed the ending, and then he did get a 5th season, so he changed it back to what he wanted, but he didn't have the same actors and stuff like that. He coped with it brilliantly, and it is a complete thing that makes a lot of sense all the way through it, and has a beautiful ending. The whole last episode is just an epilogue. It's just them getting back together again 20 years later and saying hello to each other, kind of thing, and saying goodbye to the space station. It's a lovely episode, but that was always in his head to write that, and he filmed it a year before it was going to get, that he needed to, because he thought he ran out. He thought they weren't going to be given a 5th season, So I think you compare it to something like that, where he did do exactly the right thing with having advance warning, and yet with Lost, it looked like it was a bit random sometimes because of the way they wrote it.
Yeah,
a bit weird. Kelly says they could do an entire season of Lost and rewrite, and people would watch it.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised that we haven't heard any news of reboot yet.
Yeah, well, I know the people who've done Lost have done other things since that have been very Lost-esque. Apparently, the new series called it's on Sky Atlantic or something, HBO or something, and it's one word in the title, and it's written by the guys who did Lost, and apparently it's really similar. And the guy who played Michael in it is in it. Oh, what's it called? From? Is it called From?
Yeah, From.
Yeah. I keep getting told I need to watch that. That's apparently quite Lost-ish.
Yeah. But Kelly's right. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, it could just be like, this could be like the extra passengers that got stranded on another part of the island or something. Like, it doesn't need to be the same actors. It could be anything. And so many people watch it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. Or more about the Dharma Initiative. They could expand on how the Dharma Initiative happened and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Or just a complete rewrite, just a bona fide reboot, like redoing it again with all new actors, and it could take any form. And I gotta believe it would be successful.
One of the magical things about Lost was the casting. I think the people they chose to be in it was amazing.
That's true.
I think that's definitely a plus about it, wasn't it? I think my all-time favorite show was Sense8. That was written by James Straczynski, I think, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that was written by the guy who I just mentioned, because I just mentioned Babylon 5. So I'm pretty sure Sense8 was JMS.
All-time favorite.
Confirm if that's true. I think it's James Straczynski. who was an absolute genius for writing Babylon 5, I think.
I
He also wrote Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was really good, but that got cancelled. Did you ever see Jeremiah?
Jeremiah. Which one? I don't
That
think
was
so.
what's his name? Well, some guy from Beverly Hills 90210 played the main character, but it was like a post-apocalyptic thing, and it was really good. I think the guy who played Theo in the Cosby Show was his mate, and it was a bit like it was a bit it's got that sort of element of because this was years before Walking Dead and stuff, and it was Luke Perry. I've just seen someone mention it. I think it was Luke Perry. And it was a really good show, and it was like, had this sort of post-apocalyptic kind of end of the world kind of feel, but it was before anyone had really done it. It was at least
Jeremiah.
What was 10 like years before Walking Dead.
What was like
so Jeremiah was the guy. I think Jeremiah was one of the characters. I think, I don't know, it might have been a riffing on the book of Jeremiah in the Bible as well. But it was really good. I would need to watch it again, but I remember loving it and being gutted that they'd cancelled it. But that was what he did immediately after doing Babylon 5. And then I'm pretty sure he did Sense8 as well.
Now, Sense8 was the one where there was like a bunch of people that were all connected, right? Like they had
yeah,
they had like a special connection, this group of people.
Yeah.
They could like feel each other's whatever. And I never watched it. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I meant to watch it, and I haven't.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. I'm pretty sure it's on our version of Netflix. So if I can get our Netflix account started again, I'll definitely watch Sense8, I think.
But Dave, didn't that get canceled like early? Like, is it still worth watching?
See what he says.
Hopefully he's still here.
That was Emma Peel. That was Diana Rigg's character. Emma Peel, that's right. Her character was fantastic. And it's really the way that they did it. Oh, there were some assistants before Emma Peel. I didn't realise that. I thought she was the first one. Happy New Year, Crystal. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so maybe they just don't show them very often because they know that the Emma Peel ones are the popular ones. So Jenny says Happy New Year, and then Learn from Lost was loving Prison Break, but as soon as it started to go off the rails, just quit watching it. Yeah, Prison Break. Yeah, you got a tattoo of the prison layout on your body. Amazing premise. I watched the first season of Prison Break, but my wife watched more of it, but I only watched the first season. And it was quite good. Roy's gone. Bye, Roy. Roy. Bye, Crystal. Bye, Roy. Bye, Roy. Manifest. What's Manifest?
Yeah, Manifest was decent. I ended up not. So Manifest was a little bit of a Lost ripoff, and so there's this plane, and it takes off, and the main characters, of course, it starts. Something happens. So it's like it's overbooked flight or something. So the family has to split up. Right, so there's the son and the father go on the plane while the mother and the daughter stay behind, and the plane disappears, and then 5 years later, it just shows up again.
Okay.
All those people are still on the plane. They are still the same age, even though the rest of the world has aged 5 years.
Okay.
So they are still the same age, and they don't. To them, nothing has happened, and they're just landing 5 years later. And so there is that whole thing. I won't give too much more away than that, but there's that whole thing. And of course there's family issues, a romance issue, and things have happened in that everybody else moved on. Right. And so things happen, but these characters that were on the plane, they sort of get these like messages. And so there's like some religious undertones to the story. And so it's pretty good. I ended up not finishing it. I watched like 2.5 seasons. My daughter watched the whole thing. She finished it off because she did really enjoy it. It was good. I didn't think it was fabulous.
Yeah. So Jenny helped me out with Luke Perry earlier. I just saw it come up before. So Sense8 was created by the Wachowski brothers, who are the ones that did The Matrix. And it was with James Straczynski as well. Yeah. So I was right. So Wachowski brothers and James Straczynski for Netflix. That's cool. I thought he was involved, but I wasn't absolutely sure. It got a proper ending, but it simply cost too much to make, which is why it got cancelled.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So definitely worth
Did
watching.
you ever watch? There was another Lost type show, which might have even been by similar people, but it was a show that got cancelled straight away again. And I thought it had quite a nice feel to it. I didn't know where it was going, but it's called Flash Forward.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I quite like that.
I ended up not seeing. It's based on a book by Robert Sawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I read the book. I ended up not watching. That was one of those ones, not because I didn't like it. It's just when that came out, it was like it had very young kids, and like you just
Yeah.
got busy and stopped watching it. And so, because that was like
It was a long time ago.
almost 2 decades ago, I think that show.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah. Well, it's an amazing thing about how long ago Lost was, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my battery is dying on my phone, so actually, even though we're having a great conversation, we're going to have to postpone the rest of our conversation for our first official "Is This On" show.
Sounds good. So what? Wait, did we decide on the date for the first show?
We said it would be a Thursday, didn't we? So should we have a look? Should we have a look at
every other Thursday we're doing, right? Did we get through all the comments here? Yeah. Okay.
Let's see if. Oh no, it's not the right thing to look at. I'm just trying to get a calendar up.
Let me see. Kind of want you to use up your battery there. So we've got Thursday the 4th, Thursday the 11th. What do you think?
11th. We go 11th for the first one. Gives it a bit of a
11th?
break.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's your announcement, everyone. Thursday the 11th, January 11th will be the first episode of Is This Thing On?
January 11th. We'll just have one last comment from Dave, because he said he tried Flash Forward and then there was so much on. And I think that's an interesting thing to pick up on later, that there is so much on. It's easy to lose track of something you used to watch. Go, oh shit, I was watching that before.
Yeah.
Because that happened to me for Mr. Robot. And did you watch that? I loved Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, but I only watched the first season. I forgot it existed.
Yeah.
There's so much other stuff on. But I really liked the first season, you know. So yeah, awesome.
Okay.
So there we are. Luckily, I think it's like 3% left, so hopefully we can say goodbye before my phone dies if we don't actually say goodbye. But this was fun, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it's always fun. Once again, much longer than we planned, but hey, when you're having a good conversation, right? So, and
yeah.
Oh, good night, Jenny. Good night, Tim, Nathan.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
We really appreciate everybody coming out. This was good fun. Thanks, guys. It's really good time spending. Really a good time spending time with you all.
Yeah. Thanks for these comments. If I put them up, we'll carry on forever. So, massive thanks for the people you were saying thanks and all that, and Happy New Year. Thanks a million.
Yep.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone.